So when is it time to retire? When are you done as a DJ? It's a good question. A lot of people think it's an age issue. Well, when I was a young DJ, I thought, you know what? I don't want to be that old guy on stage. I don't want to look ridiculous up there and be out of touch. So I need to find a new career before I get old. Well, at the time, my perception of old was probably about 30 years old. So obviously that didn't work out for me. If you haven't guessed, I'm well over 30. So that's not really a factor as far as I'm concerned. To a lot of people it is. Some people, they have families, they have children, they don't want to be gone for the weekends, they knock it off. But then sometimes when the kids get a little older, they step back into it. You can go into a semi-retirement because of family obligations or whatever, and then do it again at a later date. It's always an option. But how old is too old? One of my friends on Facebook, Maurice Dubois, told me a story last week. He's been a DJ for, let's say, quite a while and went semi-retired until his sons got interested in it. Here's what he said. We are into karaoke but are taking DJ gigs when people ask. We aren't looking for jobs but they seem to keep coming in. No, we aren't one of those cut-price DJs. This old fart is still right in there with the younger generation and loving every minute of it. Maurice turned 80 last week. Somebody else we can talk about is Dick Clark, who in 2004 had a stroke. He was 75 years old. He died last year at 82, but he had been doing New Year's Rockin' Eve all that time. He didn't stop. My buddy Alan Aw actually knew Dick Clark. Here's a quote from him. Dick Clark was a client of my family's and he knew I was a DJ. While he stopped doing radio a while back before he died, he told me producing his New Year's Rockin' Eve show was still DJing, because he was still picking the tunes and the programming. The only difference was instead of the record, he was picking the artists and their live performances. He already knew which songs were going to be performed, so he DJ'd pretty much until he passed away. Speaking of stroke, I had one of those back in 2011. I was a paraplegic, I was blind, and I had a speech impediment. Now I've made a lot of improvements, but I still only have one good hand and one great leg. My other leg kind of works, I can walk, but my right arm and my right hand are pretty much useless. And I'm a mobile DJ. I'm not lucky like Dick Clark where I have people doing things for me, roadies, assistants, all that. So what I had to do is figure out how to do what I do in my condition. And I did. I built a mobile DJ system that I could handle. I could set up and break down and operate and put on a great performance. So it's not a disability thing. It's not a physical ability thing. It's not an age thing. The only thing it is attitude and determination. And that's all up here and right here. If you don't have this and you don't have that, maybe it's time to retire. But if you can hang on to that, then you can do this for as long as you live. Practice and enjoy.